Hi, I'm Sharon Renfro. Our hearts and minds at SharonRenfro.com believes that we must open our minds before we can open our hearts to one another. A fundamental idea to an alternative way to understand the psychology of relationships. This means that thinking is the key to successful, meaningfully connected relationships. Today's video applies the 3 steps of thinking to the relationship issue of feelings and relationships. Now, I'm going to talk very briefly about the 3 steps of thinking, and then I'm going to give you examples of what I mean. So it should help you to be able to use it. But again, it's just a brief example. The first step of thinking is research, gathering objective and pertinent information. Number 1, the psychological component of self provides us 3 brain systems from which to perceive, interpret, understand, and respond to our relationships. Number 2, these brain systems function independently of the other functions, so that when one brain system is engaged, the other 2 are not accessible. Number 3, the most ancient of these brain systems is the emotional system, what some call the lizard brain, our gut reactions. Everything, let me say that again, everything that happens in our relationships is assessed emotionally, and as we would expect of a lizard brain, the assessment is basic, instinctual, and meant to be used in simple situations to ensure the safety of only the individual. Number 4, when safe, individuals are calm and focus life energy on maturation and growth and fulfillment in relationships. Number 5, when threatened, individuals are anxious and focus life energy on defending themselves as the relationship is perceived as a threat. Number 6, because the emotional assessment forces all of our experiences into being safe or threatening instantly, we fail to perform a thorough assessment. As a result, our error rate for accuracy is very high. Nature favors erring on the side of responding to a threat, even if a perceived threat is not real. Better to be safe than sorry. Number 7, 4 emotional behaviors are possible when a threat is sensed: conflict, fight; distance, flight; pretend, camouflage; and cutoff, play dead. Number 8, these behaviors usually result in a short-term reduction of anxiety, and it's a short-term recall return to a calm state, and the individual assumes he or he is once again safe and the threat has been resolved. Number 9, a second brain system, psychological function, provides a reassessment of most emotional assessments through the subjective brain, which produces feelings. 10, feelings are meant to A, verify or dismiss the emotional assessment, sort of a check and balance system, which improve accuracy of the emotional assessment. That's what it's meant to do. B, positive feelings reinforce the assessment of safety. C, negative feelings reinforce the assessment of threat. D, feelings provide a feedback loop to the emotional system and intensify emotional adaptive strategies, resulting in more intense and frequent emotionally reactive behaviors: conflict, distance, pretend, and cutoff. Number 11, we are usually more aware of our feelings than our emotions: calm, anxiety, and furthermore, we use our feelings to narrow the reason for the sense of threat. For example, if you sense a threat and then feel angry, you are likely to focus your emotionally reactive behavior toward the person about whom you feel anger. Number 12, the memory of feelings experienced early in life, when we are learning how to interpret feelings as either threatening or safe, reduces reaction time to future events to enhance the likelihood of securing safety. However, this strategy means that when we face experiences now that are even remotely similar to a past experience, we instantly experience the feeling from the past and prescribe it to the current situation as if there were no differences, and I'm saying that again. It's important. However, this strategy means that when we face experiences now that are even remotely similar to a past experience, we instantly experience the feeling from the past and prescribe it to the current situation as if there were no differences. This means that it is nearly impossible to be aware of how the past is impacting our current emotional reaction. The emotional system has collected minimal information from which to make an assessment. The feeling merely reinforces it, remembers it, and then we treat now as if it were the past, without any awareness of what we're doing. The system works very well in simple situations that are highly dangerous. The process adds unrecognized complications to relationships that are rarely identified and addressed. We can see how easy it is to overreact. Conventional psychology has encouraged us to look no further, but to express our feelings and our gut reactions. Big mistake. If you want to be a mature individual and in a stable, long-term, sustainable relationship that is fulfilling. Number 13, feelings change extremely rapidly. The second step of thinking is reason, and that means using the pertinent and objective information to understand, putting the pieces of the puzzle together using logic. Number 1, it's difficult to distinguish between the past and the present. Number 2, confusion about overreactions, etc. makes sense and should warn us to slow down and think. Number 3, relationship partners may be entirely innocent of allegations of malintent. Number 4, feelings should always be suspect. Number 5, acting on feelings to make decisions is probably unwise, a good percentage of the time. Number 6, identifying the threat and the understanding whether or not the real evidence supports the emotional assessment is wise. Step 3 of thinking, reflection. Now this means that we're going to apply understanding to make reasoned decisions, and that we will consider ourselves and others, and we will be able to put ourselves into other people's shoes. Number 1, stop and collect information and listen to what others are saying. Number 2, review all the evidence and specifically remove any blame from the situation. Number 3, detail the history of the situation in front of you. What similarities to past situations do you recognize? Number 4, do not act on any feeling until you have reached a solid understanding of the present situation. Number 5, identify the multiple possible solutions to the situation. Number 6, answer the question, what will be the long-term consequences for everyone involved in each possible solution? Number 7, determine which feelings can be sustained over a long period of time. Number 8, take your time in making decisions and do not use feelings as your sole or major factor in making decisions. We must open our minds in order to open our hearts to one another. Now, if these ideas have been beneficial to you, please like us so that others may find us and find the help that they need. And you may find additional information and in-depth discussion of these ideas at SharonRenfro.com. We have free podcasts there, so you can listen to your heart's content about these ideas and develop a really, really solid understanding. And thanks for listening.